Episode of Gaming for My Sanity, and I am here to, do what I do. Your favorite rapper that's a gamer. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. I haven't talked to y'all in a couple of days. I had to take a week off. It was a lot going on. Nothing bad. It was just some birthdays celebrating, you know what I'm saying? Stuff had to take care of family stuff. You know what I'm saying? But we back. What's popping? How y'all doing? How y'all doing today? So first, you know what I gotta do? I gotta go through the shop and see what the hell's going on. While letting y'all know what the hell I had going on, and my thing is just moving by itself. Okay, that make my controller is tripping. All right, what? Why is she moving by herself? What is that? Oh my God! See, here we go with the bullshit. Here we go with the bullshit, y'all. But anyway, so today we finna get some gaming in. Okay, well, they got some okay, let's go back to the top. Let's see what's going on. All right, K-pop Demon Hunter bundle. I don't have kids, so I'm not overly fond of that. You know, I was thinking about. You know, I was literally just having this thought because I really made this the title that this not for kids because my particular content I wouldn't want to seem like I'm marketing to kids at all because I'm really not. I just like what I like. But I be thinking about that sometimes because I don't have kids. So I wonder how to approach certain things that I can see as an adult that a kid wouldn't necessarily be able to comprehend at the same time. For example, the whole ranting and raving about the K-pop Demon Hunter stuff. It feels sometimes like a backhanded compliment when other things get popular that's really based in Black American culture. I love it, but it genuinely feels like a backhanded compliment sometimes. But I wouldn't want to put that in a kid. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want them as angry as I am. Because certain stuff just be pissing me off where it feel like I can't even enjoy shit sometimes. Cause I'm like, this is just covered in systematic oppression and programming and racism. Like, I don't want to look at this. But I don't want to do that to a kid. I wouldn't want to do that to a kid. I would want a kid to come to that conclusion on their own. So I think if I had kids, what I would do when it comes to stuff like that is I would try to remind them, like if it was my kid, I would try to remind my kid, like, they get that from us, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's our shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I would have to give them the history, you know what I'm saying, of boy bands. You know what I'm saying? I would have to give them the history of pop music. I would have to give them the history of like how we came up with that whole architect so they would understand like what you're ranting and raving about is not I don't want you to get so caught up in the this is what cool. This is Asians are cool because they come up with this. Because I did that a lot when I was a kid, and lose sight of where it came from originally. Because I mean, it is cool when they do it, but don't forget where they got it from. They didn't. It's not like it ain't their original thoughts. You feel what I'm saying? So I think that's a better way to approach that than coming off like you just because because sometimes people really do just be like. Just genuinely like your shit, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think nothing's wrong with that. I feel like sometimes just as a Black American, we get frustrated because it feels like we don't feel the I guess the benefits of the fact that people like it, and that can be a bit much. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, yeah, like you'll see people on TV and random raving. Like I said, you get on Fortnite, and you be like, oh, okay, that's cool. They got all this, that, and the other, but it's like based off of a lot of our stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but you can't be mad at that as well when it's a lot of our stuff in it as well. So it's a tricky conversation. I definitely understand that. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're an adult with a kid, especially a Black and American adult with a kid, I can see how that could be like a tricky subject. Because like I said, you don't want to put that anger in them. You know what I'm saying? Because it is frustrating. But you don't want them to be angry. You know what I'm saying? You want kids to be kids. You want them to be happy. So you don't want to do that to them, But at the same time, I definitely get it. I definitely understand the frustration. And I pray for a lot of y'all parents because because when I have them, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like I said, that's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to approach it in that manner, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I know you love this, but just, you know what I'm saying, know where this came from. And I won't try to come at it with like anger or frustration, so that way, I can So it doesn't seem like I just like hate, because I feel like that's kind of what pushed me as a kid. Yeah, y'all already know what it is. Y'all know we gassed up. So let's get to some gameplay. So this thing got me into the conversation, y'all. Let's get to some gameplay. So, but yeah, like I remember being a kid and being infatuated with stuff like that. Hold on, let me turn this down because I bet you that's echoing. Damn. I'm good. The things, and I really don't, because it feels like as you become an adult, you kind of just take on whatever you took on as a kid, and you don't really ever go back and think about it. I feel like that's how adults talk a lot. Like, it's almost like, did you go back and like think about what was really going on with you as a kid for real, or did you just kind of keep moving and just feel like this just is what it is? Because that's what it be sounding like to me. It be sounding like motherfuckers don't really think about that shit. Like, what would you think about as a kid? And for me, as a kid who liked a lot of quote unquote weirdo stuff, a lot of the stuff that I liked that was quote unquote weirdo stuff, there was something about it that was attracted to me, that was attractive to me, and at the time I didn't understand what it was. Now that I'm an adult, I know why I was infatuated with Dragon Ball Z. Like, I know why I was infatuated with Pokemon cards. I know why I was infatuated with, you know what I'm saying, with rock music, you know what I'm saying, alternative music, you know what I'm saying, dancing and different styles of stuff that at the time of when I was a kid, quote unquote, wasn't seemed as cool. But I also, as an adult, realized, oh, I was gravitating towards something that was already my shit. I just didn't realize it was my shit. You know what I'm saying? It was something about like, come on now. My controller better not start acting stupid, y'all. See, this that bullshit I be talking about. See, now we on here with the controller acting all goofy, y'all. Hold on. Because this is going to piss me off. It's always some bullshit, man. Dang. We can't just never live. But anyway, so, like I was saying, but backhanded compliments or whatever. I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. My fault. That threw me all the way off. But anyway, yeah, I wonder how hard that is, difficult, or how difficult that is navigating with like parents and stuff. Cause like I say, it's a real thing, and you don't want to like put that same anger in them. Cause like I say, that shit be making me mad. But I don't want to like make a kid angry trying to like convince them that, hey, the world is after you and all that and the other. Like because to me, it's like that's the way the world made me feel, and I don't want other people to feel like that. Who's texting me? Yeah, I don't want people to feel like me, but at the same time, I don't want to act like everything all good. Like I fuck with you niggas. Like I don't fuck with you niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be ignorant about it, but at the same time, man, I know what I went through. You know what I'm saying? And I remember being a kid that didn't ask for none of that shit. I was just a kid. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so for me, like, I almost sometimes feel obligated to like say certain stuff as an adult with no kids, because I come from a different place, man. I come from the place of like the adults that act like they forgot what it was like to be a kid. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like sometimes I'm like, I feel like you forgot. Like and I don't know. To me as a kid, I just never wanted to forget. Like I just remember saying that as a kid. Like I never want to forget what it's like to be a kid, because if I do, nothing's gonna make sense. Like, and I don't mean, okay, let me break this down, because I can hear y'all talking in my head now, because that's how my brain works. When it feels like, to me, I remember when I was young, the reason why I never listened to a lot of adults is because I felt like you talking from a place as if you don't know where I'm coming from. Not necessarily you don't understand because I'm a kid and you don't get it because you're an adult. I never was that stupid as a kid. Like where it's like, oh, this adult just don't understand. It wasn't that. It was more so, did you think about what I said before you responded? Like, because it sounded like you just literally just disregarded what I said because I'm a kid. Like, it don't even sound like you took a second to think about what I said at all. You just sound like you just dismissed it. And I never, because for me, I never had a problem being wrong. I have a problem being dismissed. Like that. Well, my controller acting so stupid, man. Yeah, that was my problem as a kid, man. Like, I don't like being dismissed. I don't have a problem. I never had a problem being wrong because I knew I was a kid. Because another thing that I used to hate as a kid, when adults would be like, you think you know everything because you a kid. Man, I used to hate when adults would tell me that. Because I'm like, fam, I know I'm a fucking kid. Do you not know that? Like, it used to, I swear to God, that shit used to burn my soul. Like, you could hear it in my voice now. It's making me mad now. Because I'm like, who you fucking talking to? But, like, I just remember being a kid thinking like that. Like, why is you talking to me like that? Like, who have you been around that made you think I was just dumb like that? Like, I don't know what the fuck I am. So now I think about that as an adult, and it reminds me often on how to speak to people. Because even though I was young and I couldn't articulate myself, I don't think that's a bad statement to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could have articulated that as a kid, I would have felt like, I now feel like as an adult, that's a fair point to make. Yeah, it's a fair point to make. Hold on. 15, 2 bands. I bet. Yeah, that's a fair point. You know, and I feel like sometimes, I feel like that was the disconnect between my generation and our parents. See, I like this generation's of parents more because I see that more. I see parents now trying to give they do it bad. I mean, but they don't. But I don't think that's fair to say that they doing it bad when we don't really have a lot of examples from the previous generation of how to properly talk to our kids. You know what I'm saying? In a way where it's like respectful and you hear them out, because a lot of us don't really understand that part. Like, it just, I don't know. Like, for black people, it's really, 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 really hard for us to understand respect when it's so much pain and hurt that, you know what I'm saying, that we got to deal with, but by the time we even get to a conversation, you know what I'm saying? So and I feel like we don't give ourselves enough grace for that, like amongst ourselves. You know, we be like when we say stuff like black people complain too much, I don't like that. That's a stupid ass that's a very stupid ass statement when you look at what they went through. Saying black people complain too much is no different than saying women complain too much. And I'm like, do you not know what they go through? You should understand why they do that. It can be annoying. Like, I'm not saying it's not annoying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a man. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, women can be annoying, but that doesn't make what they're complaining about any less valid. You feel what I'm saying? Like, how does that make it invalid because you just tired of hearing it? Like, nigga, we get tired of watching the same movie over and over and over again. That doesn't mean the movie is bad. That doesn't mean that all of a sudden the movie is a bad movie. Like, that's not how that works. So, for me, I just never thought that was a fair critique. You know, that just doesn't seem fair. Like, I feel like sometimes humans don't give themselves enough grace to be human. Which is why I feel like I can say stuff like, a woman can annoy me and I can still listen to what she said and still say that was annoying, the way you said it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, the way you said it was annoying, that doesn't mean I didn't hear what you said. You know, like, I still heard what you said, and it's so stupid because we've gotten to a place in the world where, you know, like, when you have conversations with people online about stupid shit like that, you hear, I see it all the time, women that say that, because you know, sometimes you'll get into a conversation, you got to watch your words, because you know that that's the place that they're coming from. Like, oh, well, you must be another one of those dudes that don't listen. It's like, nah, you so angry that you're not having discernment in who's talking. And I get that, because as a black person, I've definitely been that angry as well. So I get it. And it's weird because we act like we don't understand. Like, when do we get to the point where we start saying, hey, I understand where you're coming from? Because I'm like, that's not fair. That's not fair. Like, if I sit here and just say what women are complaining about is annoying, that's not fair. But to not allow myself to say that the way you're saying it is annoying is unfair to my human self. You know what I'm saying? Like, because who am I to sit up here and just bash you with all of my problems? As a human, let's take away the black for a second. As a human, if I come to you and just complain, that's annoying. Even if my complaints are valid, it's annoying. You could be going through put it like this, you could be going through a horrible relationship. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I do you one better. Let's say one of my guy's going through a horrible relationship, my partner going through a horrible ass relationship, right? You know what I'm saying? He going through some bullshit. But You know what I'm saying? At first, nigga come to me and he vent, right? First time he come to me, he venting. I bet. He venting, you know what I'm saying? He telling me about his problems, cool, whatever. Second time, he come to me, he venting. You know what I'm saying? Telling me about his problems. I'm like, man, I realized as a friend, now this is what I've done as I've gotten older. I realized as a friend, sometimes I jump to the conclusion of this person is complaining too much a little too soon, because sometimes I fail to realize that I have a safe space to vent and complain and other people don't. Some people don't have a safe space to complain at home. Some people don't get online. They don't understand online. So when they go online, it's just as chaotic as people say it is. So when we say, hey, you could have did that, you know what I'm saying, online, or you could have wrote in your journal, or like other people who have safe spaces and understand what that safe space is, sometimes we don't give our friends or people the grace to say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So we'll be quick to be like, bro, you gotta cut that out. And I used to do that when I was younger. When I was younger, I used to be quick to kind of like cut a nigga off, because I'm like, bro, why is you still complaining? But sometimes I failed to realize that, hey, he don't have the same safe space to complain like I do. You know what I'm saying? Like me and my girlfriend good. Like he don't, you know what I'm saying? Him and his gal trash. Like, or he don't have a gal, so he don't have a safe space to feel like he can just get this shit off. And you know what I'm saying? And that's a necessity for a human. We keep acting like that's like a gender thing or a race thing, and it's not. It's a necessity for a human. So if you have what's necessity, like if you understand what you need as a human first, my bad, I got caught up in my words because I be high. But if you know what you need as a human first, then the rest of the shit will honestly just fall in place. That's why I don't be liking a lot of conversations when they become to like gender and race and all that other dumbass shit, because we act like certain shit as a human should make sense first, as a human. And again, as a human, somebody who's complaining often genuinely probably feels like they have nowhere to complain. So there's a reason why they're complaining. That doesn't mean we should just let them complain any old kind of way. But we need to understand why these people are complaining. So that's why I've always thought that was a very extremely unfair critique for people to sit up here and say, oh, I don't black people need to stop complaining. Why? Like, the nigga that's beating on them is still in the house. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody being in a bad relationship. Like the nigga they still live with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like he's still getting beat on to this day. Like like I get you ready for them to leave the relationship, but some of them feel like they can't really leave the relationship. Some of them can't afford to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like so it's like that's just what it is. Some of them was born into it. Some of them don't know nothing else but that relationship. Like, don't be so quick to give people a backhanded compliment just because you feel like you in that safe space now, especially when it comes to other black people. That's so ridiculous that we do that to each other. Do you not realize that you in a place of privilege when you saying stuff like that? You have to be. To even think like that, you have to be. Like, come on now. Come on now. You're not finna tell me you understand history, but then all of a sudden, you don't get why people complain a lot. Yeah, all right, gang. You don't understand history. You didn't pay attention to history class. Cool. It's good. It's classes that I didn't pay attention to as well. I feel you. I feel you. but just because you don't pay attention don't mean the rest of us don't have to pay attention. Like, come on now. Let's not do that. Like I said, it's no different. It's no different than any other group that has complaints. If people have complaints, listen to what the complaint is. There might be some truth in the complaint. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we don't listen to people a lot. And I understand why. Sometimes I understand why. Like when people have backhanded compliments and complaints about black people, I only listen to it to see if there's something that I could be doing better as a human. If you're coming from a negative place, I don't really give a fuck. But I have to listen to that in order for me to know that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I gotta listen to what you're saying for me to even know if you're coming from a negative place, because you might be coming from a genuine place. But if I'm just gonna dismiss it right away just because I'm assuming that you're racist, if I'm just gonna assume it's negative, then I didn't do my due diligence as a human. And what are we doing if we not gonna do that? What are we doing if we not gonna do that? Niggas is not doing their due diligence as humans first. You feel what I'm saying? You want me to just deal with your bullshit? Like, I don't like that. That's why I say I feel like people got the right to complain. Now, it's, to me, I think that's why we came up with the term Karens, because people start feeling like, damn, really? That's how she, oh, okay. I was trying to say, what she hit me with? Okay. Shoot. But I think that's where that Karen term came from, is because, like, when you start feeling like the whole world gotta like shift because of a complaint that's only based in how you feel in that moment, that's insane. Like, that's insane. Like, why do you feel like the world gotta stop because of an emotion that you feel in the moment? If the emotion that you feel is based off of time, history, and evidence of things happening to you and people that look like you over time, then I feel you. But if we just talking about something that you just felt in the moment, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Because if you saying me walking through your rich neighborhood makes you feel like I'm going to attack you, then what is your evidence? What is your profound evidence over time that has shown you that when people that look like me walk through these nice neighborhoods, that automatically assumes that you are in danger? Please show me the evidence, because if it ain't wrapped, because if it's not wrapped in American propaganda, then I might feel you. But if it's wrapped in American propaganda, then I don't know what to tell. I ain't really trying to hear what you're talking about. If you're gonna give me a Quentin Tarantino film, you know what I'm saying, a Stephen King movie, like, then I ain't what you talking about. I ain't trying to hear what you're talking about. You ain't talking about that. You ain't talking about that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and still not making those movies good, and still make good movies, you know what I'm saying, according to people. I'm not overly fond of Stephen King movies. Now, well, actually, let me take that back. He got a couple bangers. I thought The Mist was really good. I thought that was really good. But yeah, but I still think he look weird. Like, it's not in a bad way. I guess in like a creative way. Cause I'm like, man, Stephen King, like that's such like, it's messed up, but it's kind of like, that's a little bit like a white privilege. Cause I'm like, come on, bro. If you just heard his thoughts out loud, and he was never like a famous writer or like movie person, like, you think this person, he would have to be in a crazy house. Like, just think about like just the basis of his movies and just say them out loud. You know what I'm saying? Just no context. Just say it out loud. Just like, hey, I feel like such and such. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if we was just all stuck in a house, you know what I'm saying, amongst each other? You just walk into your house, you know what I'm saying, amongst your friends and just say that. Like, hey, what if we was just all in a house? You know what I'm saying? But we couldn't get out. You know what I'm saying? And the only person that knew how to get out was like a 14-year-old girl. And because we couldn't figure it out and she wouldn't tell us, like, one of us just decided to smack on the back of the head with a cue ball. Like, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think? Like, I would just listen to them and be like, are you okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you okay? Like, are you okay? Like, but then again, I don't know. Maybe because of the way we have movies and American propaganda these days, maybe that wouldn't be weird to people now. Like, I feel like sometimes the media programs us to normalize stuff that shouldn't necessarily be normal. But by the time you figure that out, it's too normal for you to complain about it not being normal. You know. So, yeah. I feel like that's what happens over time sometimes. And I used to always feel like that as a kid, but now that I'm a little bit older, I feel like I have enough evidence and experience to be like, I kind of can point to a few things where that happened to feel pretty confident in that statement. Yeah, not that I know everything. I ain't saying like I know everything, you know what I'm saying? But it'd be weird. It's stuff to be weird. Can y'all hear that, man? Can y'all hear that music? TikTok's doing well. I've been doing better with my TikToks too, y'all. Especially as a rapper, because don't get it twisted. I like music content, but I like music content as a. Can I be honest with y'all? I feel like I can, because my YouTube don't get a lot of views for me to be lying to y'all about anything. Can I be honest with y'all? I think the way musicians do music content is so corny. It is like. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes it's creative and I like it, but most of the time it's so corny. It's corny, bro. It is like, it's like, we get it, you're a rapper, so like, we get it, you're a musician, so we get it, you have the love for, like, it's always the same fucking Disney movie ass shit. Like, you want us to, the hope and the dream, and then I said, like, put some effort into it. Like, do something cool. Like, I just want creatives to be creative. Like, this is what I hate the most about artists when it comes to music. I feel like musicians in the early 2000s, to me, Because this when I saw it, this is just my timeline. I speak for however you want to speak for your shit. But in my timeline, musicians start fetishizing the idea of the American dream with what music was and did for the soul because of black people. And it started to blend so much that now musicians think that somebody is supposed to come randomly find them because their music is good and do all the work for them. Like, I feel like I worded that a little bad, but I hope you get what I'm saying. Like, cause it's so stupid. It's like, where did you get the idea that you wasn't supposed to do no work? Like, when did you think that was, okay? Because that same thought process to me, it's rooted in a lot of the way people talk when they talk about how good things are and how bad things are. I feel like a lot of artists and musicians and fans have gotten caught up in that system of American fetishization. So now it determines how good or not good somebody is, because sometimes somebody will end up in unique circumstances and they'll say, oh, well, that's why they're a better artist, because they were in a unique circumstance that kind of propelled their lives to a particular place that just allowed them to be, you know what I'm saying, a artist. And I don't like that, because I'm like, that don't make that nigga hard. Like, I feel like that's the exact reason why people in those positions often start sucking, because we allowed them to think that because they were unique and in a unique position that it was a miracle. And because it was a miracle, it was talent and it was God. So therefore, you don't have, you know what I'm saying? Like, somehow, therefore, that ties into your work ethic, because there's a lot of miracles that's happening. And because there's a lot of miracles that are happening, now all of a sudden you don't really have to do shit because it was a miracle. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, I think that's why, you know what's so funny? I have a theory on that's why white supremacy works. Is because, in my personal opinion, and it's just an opinion, I don't take it as an objective truth, it's just an observation, but I really feel like because quote unquote white people, what we deem what a white person to be, quote unquote, to me, hasn't been historically naturally talented with things, and that's why they have historically been able to supersede us in strategy when it comes to doing diabolical things sometimes in like the hierarchy of human movement, like moving forward or whatever. Like in the race of, like in the human race of race or whatever, when you look at like the scale, why everybody, like, to me, leans towards like white supremacy and shit like that, and like and why they lean towards, like, when people come over to America and they start moving like a white person, like, I think the reason why they do that is because their strategies have worked in everybody else's eyes. In everybody else's eyes, they work. You know what I'm saying? Because people, they get money, they come over here, they be successful in any kind of way, whatever. On the outside surface, it looks like it works. And I've always wondered why that is. Because when you come over here, corporate America, the dream, all of that shit, it's bullshit, it's a lie or whatever. But people still come over here and they'll still do it. They'll still come over here in the corporate nonsense. They'll see it's nonsense and then still go along with the nonsense. That's why that's why a lot of immigrant nations have come over here, and that's why sometimes we'll have a problem with them. Like, I mean, I love everybody, but when you look at the conversations across the board, if you pay attention to the conversations, to me, that's where the disconnect comes from. It, like, when you look at black people and their disconnect, or black Americans and their disconnect with other like cultures and shit, for me, I think the disconnect came from y'all came over here, started rocking with us real hard, and then as soon as you got in a place of like leverage, you kind of left us for white privilege. And to me, if we ever asked ourselves why that happened, because first of all, the reason why we can't talk about it is because people don't want to acknowledge that that's a real thing. That's why it's so hard to talk about, because they don't want to acknowledge that happened. Some people don't want to admit it. Some people act like it's not a thing, blah, 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 blah. But if we could ever actually honestly have that conversation and admit that it's a real conversation, then we can get to why that happened. And if we can get to why that happened, then I think we can actually get somewhere. Because to me, like I said, let me go back, because I know I'm trying to get off on a little bit of a tangent. But to me, so going back to the whole, the system thing, to me, white people aren't really naturally talented at things. That's why they had to come up with the systems in the psychological warfare and all those types of things. The reason why they had to come up with those things is because they weren't naturally talented like we are. But I think that's why they were able to beat us, because the natural talent, if you look at somebody that's naturally talented today, they are so fucking lazy because they and entitled, because it's almost like they feel like things are just supposed to happen for them because they're talented. And I always wonder, is that was what just the idea of black people, not like what black is today as far as like a black American, but just what the essence of what a black person is, like a person of color. I wonder, is that why we start losing across the board? Is because we got caught up in the fact that we're talented, that we're naturally good at stuff, and like naturally connected to the ancestors and naturally connected to praying and all this, that, and the other. That's why we're so entitled when we talk about things. When we speak about things, even as black Americans, we just very entitled when we talk about things. When we look at the other diasporas of immigrants that are black as well, like, where do their entitlement come from? I think it came from that same thing, in my personal opinion. It's just, like I said, it's just an opinion. It's just an opinion from my observation. I don't look at it as an objective truth. It's just a thought that I've had. And like I said, I can do this in my little safe space on YouTube, because I don't have a whole lot of followers right now, so I can just be honest on how I feel. But yeah, I've always really, really wondered that, like, on some real shit, not like in an ignorant way, but I've just always wondered that. I'm like, just looking at how we talk. When you look at how we talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was looking at Carlos Miller. He did an interview on Poor Minds podcast. Love Poor Minds podcast. Think they're great. And matter of fact, let me even tell you why I think they're great. Because it's a beautiful understanding into how real black American women think. Just listening to their conversation, they have a really, really beautiful discord amongst themselves on how they really truly think. And if you just listen, you would learn a lot. I really, really believe that. That's why I love their podcast. I really, really do. But anyway, I just saw a clip of it, of Carlos talking to Carlos. He was on Poor Minds podcast, and it was just a clip, like I said. And he said y'all. He said black American women over here act so entitled, like they got it easy. And of course, they jump to conclusions like most black American women do. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever come to us like we got it easy. We don't have it easy. You got us fucked up, which they have the right to say that, so I get it. But to my point earlier, listen to the complaint. Make sure you're listening. Don't just jump to conclusions and act like it ain't a reason they said that. So, and I think that's what he did, because his next response made sense, so much so that they couldn't refute the point. He said, no, think about it. He said, when you go to any other country, y'all can't do what y'all do. He said, you go to Russia, you know what I'm saying, it'd be off with your head. He said, your daddy be dragging you out of here and wouldn't nobody be able to do nothing about it. He said, if you go to an African country, he was like, y'all drinking, smoking, y'all, you know what I'm saying, your daddy be shun you from the family. And that's true. So, to a certain extent, there is an entitlement when it comes to being an American woman. Just like there's an entitlement there is to be an American man. There's an entitlement in general to being an American. So when you listen to the complaint and understand where people are coming from, I personally feel like you can actually move forward, because if those complaints are legit, then what are we doing about it? You feel what I'm saying? Like, if I feel like those complaints are legit from other immigrants to me as a black American, what am I doing as a black American to fix it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I doing as far as my representation to feel like, to even have the right to be mad at them feeling away at what we do or don't do? You feel what I'm saying? Because if I'm perpetuating the stereotype, then who am I to complain about somebody calling a spade a spade? Because as far as Black American history, my grandparents, they taught me that you call a spade a spade. So if a motherfucker come over here and say, hey, that look crazy, who am I to sit up here and tell them that they wrong for saying some shit look crazy? You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's not a Black American history. That's not how I was raised as a Black American. So I can't honestly do that. Like, that wouldn't be fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, so anyway, I think I got off on another tangent, my bad. But I was saying, I like to say, like I said, I wonder, is that why, you know, we are where we are today as far as, you know, the colonization of all the places, you know, because just look at the world. Like, I know America tripping right now, but it's been shit going on. It's a lot of shit going on. Just look at all of these things that's going on. People been tripping up. People been talking about the Congo and Sudan for who knows how long. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that's going on with Iran and Israel, it's such a long, pardon my word, rich history of information when it comes to all of the things that's happening right now today. And when I look at all of those things from a non-subjective perspective, to the best of my ability, because I am a Black American, I've always wondered, does it have more to do with who we are as people on a human level and on a psychological level than we care to admit? Because we're just now coming to terms with mental health. We're just now coming to terms with psychology. Just 100 years ago, y'all swore up and down that anybody that was talking like me need to be burned at the stake, especially if it was a woman. So you can't honestly sit up here and say that y'all now get it. That's not how learning works as a human. Like when I first hit 19, 20, 21, that didn't mean that I get being an adult. That's not how it works. So now if you look at the human race in time in the same aspect of a kid growing up, why in the world, if you just now figured out what psychology is, would you understand psychology now? Even the psychology experts, why would us as a whole understand it now? I feel like if we figured that part out just that little bit, that would take away the majority of your anxiety when it comes to the world. Because what the fuck is you tripping for as if people supposed to know what the fuck they got going on? Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. That should make you feel a little bit better because people are talking like they know what they're doing. And if you listen to them like they know what they doing, then you gon', you know what I'm saying, start feeling ways about shit. And I don't think that's good. That's not good. That's not good for you to get to just, because that's so stupid. Like I said, it's certain stuff that shouldn't make sense, like when it comes to like race and like gender. Like, so I don't understand why we even have a conversation or feel some type of way about having a conversation. It's certain stuff that shouldn't make sense. That shouldn't make sense. You feel what I'm saying? Like I said, y'all want some more Black American history, I'll give it to you right now. Hey, when we was outside playing, if your mama told my mama that I came over there clowning, I'm getting my ass whooped, right? If your mama told my mama that I'm over there talking like a grown person or doing grown shit, I'm getting my ass whooped, right? So that means I needed to watch my mouth when I'm around in certain spaces, right? Like, I needed to be respectful when I'm outside the door, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of how I talk. When I'm in somebody else's space, I need to be respectful. That's the Black American history that I'm aware of. So why now when y'all come into our spaces, you feel like you could talk like us? This ain't your house. So why would you go in somebody's house talking like them? That's weird. That's weird. I never understood that. I do you one better. I have an older sister. If my sister was amongst her group of girlfriends and my sister didn't talk like that, but I'm just saying, just for the sake of the conversation, if my sister was talking amongst her girlfriends and they was calling each other bitches, hey bitch, what's good bitch, what's up bitch, and I walked over there as the boy, especially as the little brother, walked over there and was like, what's good, bitches? Do you know how many punches in the faces I would get? So what's so confusing about the nigga? What's so confusing about nigga? Like, why is that even confusing? That shouldn't be confusing on no level. You shouldn't even need a high school education to understand that. I know niggas from the block that ain't got no education to understand that. So I ain't gonna say when, because that's a whole nother conversation that we need to get into later. That's a whole nother conversation that we need to get into later of when that happened. Oh, because I can tell y'all when it happened. That was never cool. That was never a cool thing to do. That was never a cool thing to do. It did become a cool thing. It did become a cool thing. And it happened in my generation. My generation did it. They sure did. They sure did. They sure did. Since everybody always want to blame somebody for something. Oh yeah, millennials come to the front. Cause y'all are the culprits. Y'all are the culprits. Y'all are the ones who got in these damn communities, wanted validation so bad from Timmy because he had better games that you start cursing at your mama too. Saying little weirdo, doing little goofy stuff too. I remember I was there. I remember. See, because the difference between y'all and me is I wasn't allowed to be jealous and envious in my house. It doesn't mean I didn't do it. It doesn't mean I didn't have family members that didn't do it. It just wasn't allowed in my house. And what I mean is, like, if I borrowed somebody's shit, first of all, my parents would know because I wasn't one of those kids who had, like, could do whatever the fuck I wanted to do. So if it was something in my room that didn't belong in there, 9 times out of 10, my parents would find it. So it wasn't like I could have had somebody game or like toys or something like that for a long time and my parents not say nothing. Like that would have been weird for me to just take somebody's shit. First of all, why you taking stuff like we ain't got no, like, see, now I'm starting to sound like my parents. Why you taking stuff like we ain't got no jobs? Like we poor or something? Like what you on? Like what you trying to say? Cause if you saying you lazy and broke, just be lazy and broke. Like don't put that on my name. Go and do that by yourself. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. Like that's so weird to me. That is so weird to me. And you know what's even funnier? Is like I have conversations like this amongst my friends now, and I genuinely hear my parents' voices now, like as I talk, and it's so weird because I used to get mad at them for talking to me like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I used to just being a kid. It was just being a kid. I never, but now I get it because I'm like, who you talking to? You know what I'm saying? Like, just living life made me realize that they knew what they were talking about. Just living life. Because when you start working for things, even if you hustling, even if you, look, y'all can go look at the description in my bio on my YouTube page. I am not above no criticism, but I can tell you about work. I can tell you about hard work. I can tell you about working hard for something and it being yours. I can tell you about making your own money. I can tell you about all of that. But to just take something from somebody else just because you feel like you can. I remember being on both sides of that. And it wasn't until I got on the side of accumulating things that I really, really, really worked hard for. Not necessarily always having to finesse somebody. You know what I'm saying? It was some finesses here and there. Of course it was some finesses here and there. Of course, you know what I'm saying? Man, come on now, I'm Black American. Come on now, you know what I'm saying? America owed me. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't peaches and cream. But just to know that I worked my ass off to get these things. And for somebody to just come in and feel like they could just take it. Fuck you think you is? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it made me understand, and it, again, I don't think it took away my blackness at all because it's still, you know what I'm saying? I still be like, fuck the system. It's still fuck the system always. But for me, my fuck the system is turned into teaching people how to be entrepreneurs properly. Because I don't want you working a 9 to 5 for the rest of your life because that's bullshit. Like, I hate 9 to 5s to my utter core. I hate 9 to 5s. I do. Nobody can convince me otherwise. I'm sorry. I really, really wish I did so I could be a better role model on a larger scale because I know how people are. I know how America programmed us to be. Hey, if you don't work a job, you're a sucky person. Like, period, end of discussion. So people act like if you have any other message, then you're destroying the youth. You're destroying people. That's not what that means, fam. I'm not saying that, because look at what happened during COVID. And I thank God for all of the teachers and fucking doctors and shit that took my advice, people like me's advice, and got their asses on YouTube and start telling us real shit. Not people who was just paying attention to the system and was like, oh, well, I can't work, oh well. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about bucking the system like that. Because when I was a kid, when I wanted to buck the system, it didn't make sense. But as I became an adult and realized, like, oh, this is how you buck the system properly. You can still buck the system, but this is how you do it the right way. Because there's always a right way to buck the system, gang. When I was a kid, weed was illegal. You can sell it legally now. Like, there's always a way to buck the system, fam. Like, always. So it's just so for me, the one thing you got to do is keep going. You can never quit. You can never quit. Because I don't know who the one person is that might hear this later, you know what I'm saying? Be like, damn, this nigga, you know what I'm saying? He got a point. Let me listen to him instead of the other dumbasses around me that act like they know every fucking thing. But then that's the part that I was saying earlier, when, you know what I'm saying, when we think about when we gotta be accountable for how people look at us sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm gonna say all of this shit and it sound good, then I gotta think about what I'm saying on the back end, you know what I'm saying, the people or whatever. Because we'll let you, one of you dumbass kids come up to me and be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, what's good, Scotty? What the fuck is up? Hey, bro, hold on. Who you talking to? I'm an adult. You're a kid. You're not grown. You're not grown. Now, if the motherfucker's like, oh shit. Now, the motherfucker like 17, you know what I'm saying, 16 and shit like that, I'm like, alright, okay, alright, what's good, little nigga? What's good, little nigga? Now he blew himself into oblivion. That was crazy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, because to me, after 14, y'all grown. Especially if you're a boy. I'm not cursing at you. I'm sorry. I'm not. You're grown. Because to me, that's how the world hit me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean grown to the point where there is no empathy for you. There is no sympathy for you. There is no understanding of you. There is no, you know what I'm saying, that you don't mean nothing. That's because that's kind of what my generation had to go through. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you hit any type of teen, truth be told, after 12, you grown. You know what I'm saying? Especially when things are happening in y'all lives that are forcing you to be grown. So for sure, I started like that. That's my thought process when I first come into the picture. But all of that cuddling, coddling shit, you know what I'm saying? Oh, they kids, they don't know no better. Yes, no, fuck they do. Because I knew what the fuck I was doing. But the one thing that I wish the most as a kid is I wish that I had friends like me now that I'm an adult. Like, shit, even when I was a kid, I wish I had more friends like me. That's why as an adult, I gotta make sure that if you listen to me and you ain't got no business listening to me, that I'm saying the same thing that I would have wanted my friends to say to me when I was your age. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I gotta make sure that I'm that friend for you if you listening, because your ass ain't got no fucking business over here, no fucking way. Just like when we was 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, we was places we ain't had no fucking business being, no fucking way. That's a fucking fact. So I'm not finna sit here and be that naive fucking adult that act like, ain't nobody over here, it's just all of the, yeah, I was so mad at Cosnot when he said that dumbass shit. I get it though, he was trying not to get canceled, I get it, because everybody was like, he marketing himself to kids, and I'm like, no, he is a fucking kid. So I don't understand how he's marketing himself to kids. He's a fucking kid, you know what I'm saying, because 20 is a kid. You don't realize that till you get older, but you're still a fucking kid. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, just think about it. You got to think about it in the aspect. You got to think about it like an adult, fam. Like, if you really want to know how young you are, think about it like an adult. What would an adult say to you? What would somebody older say to you? They would say that you're a fucking baby. They would say that you're a child. There's nobody that's older than me that would say I'm grown. Not really. If I was coming to them asking for real advice and was like, hey man, I don't know, I feel like I ain't got it together, you know what I'm saying? I'm this age, I'm supposed to have this, and I got this, that, and the other, and I'm struggling, like I don't know what to do, like, and I just really, really want to fix this. What do I do? I swear, I've said that to an adult, and you know the first thing they say to me, fam, the fact that you even said that means you are a lot farther than you giving yourself credit for. Give yourself a break, little nigga. Give yourself a break. You actually further than you think you are just cause you articulate it that well. You know why? Because when they were kids, they couldn't articulate. Just like I'm telling y'all right now. As a kid, I couldn't articulate certain things, but I knew what I was thinking. So that's why I'm telling people, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you need to start shaping yourself to, like, what, like, you know what you need and what you don't need. You know what it is and what it ain't. It's like, fam, like, stop that. Like, people gotta stop that. But sometimes people can't. And sometimes people be scared. You gotta understand when people be scared. You know what I'm saying? There's no way in the world that I'm scared of people if I'm sitting here talking to y'all like I'm having a whole conversation with somebody when it's maybe possibly only one person listening to me. Matter of fact, let me go look. Let me go look and see if anybody listening to me right now. I'm gonna prove to y'all that I'm not scared, which is exactly why you should actually at least hear me out. I'm not gonna tell y'all to take my advice and just listen to me, because I used to hate when people did that to me. Like, just listen to me. That kind of make me not listen to you. Let's see. All right, what's going on? What's popping? All right, ain't nobody listening to me. Yeah. All right, yeah, ain't nobody listening to me. But that's my point. Hey, I had to go look and see. But that's my point. Yeah, ain't nobody listening to me. But that's exactly why. That's exactly why you should know who to deal with, who's scared and who ain't scared. Because you could, I'm telling you, like, you can tell who's scared. You can tell when people are scared. And you can tell when people just ain't got time for that. Because sometimes people just ain't got time for that. Everybody ain't scared. Everybody ain't scary. Some people smart. That's why there are such things as offense and defense. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't about attack. You know, that's why I think one thing I want to do, like with my kids, I want to teach all my kids how to play chess. Because I'm learning now. I'm not like the greatest, but I swear to God, the more I learn how to play chess, the more I realize why it's such a common theme amongst like people. Like, the more I learn it, the more I'm like, oh, this is what y'all meant. Okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? The people that be acting like they super smart because they know how to play chess, they kind of are. It's like, all right, I get, like, if you know how to play chess well, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you probably kind of smarter than the average person. And it's not even about, because it's not about being smart. Like, even understanding chess, you understand that it's not even about being smart. Like, if you know how to play it, like, it's really, like, it really is learning how to, like, play life. Like, it really is. So, I really, like, I wish we had that more in school. I wonder, do they even do that anymore? Like, do they even do that anymore? Like, where's chess club? Like, it was a lot of stuff. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Man, hey, if you from another country, bro, I'm telling y'all right now, if you plan on coming to America, make sure that you are double checking your education. Cause the American school system is so fucking retarded, bro. It is. Cause it's like the stuff that you really need to, like, in life, for real, they don't really prepare you for. So just make sure when you come to America, like, that you, like I said, just make sure you double checking your work. Like, when you go, if you're trying to be a doctor, you know what I'm saying? You trying to be a doctor. Hey, if black women told you that the American system, medicine system, don't care about them, double check your work. You feel what I'm saying? Just go double check your work. Go double check your work. I'm not saying that what you learned in school was bad. I'm just saying ask a black woman. I'm just saying. Just ask them, like, hey, does this make sense? This is why you need black friends. Why you think racist white people always use that as a tactic? Because they know it's a necessity. Man, people wouldn't. It's certain dumb shit that we be trying to, like, dismiss as dumb without understanding why people would have done that in the first place. Like, there's a reason why people do that in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Where they be like, I got a black friend. It's a stupid thing to do. It's really stupid. Like, it doesn't mean that you're black qualified. But I get why they do that. They do it because if you hang around black people, then there's almost no excuse for you. Because we gonna tell you what it is for real. Like, we definitely gonna tell you what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of non-biasness in the way we talk because the system has stripped us a lot of our ability to have a non-subjective opinion. So that's why a lot of our opinions be so harsh and rough when it comes to things. Even when it comes to like black people that be swearing up and down, black people complain too much. It's like, damn, you don't get it at all. You know what I'm saying? Like it's such a rough way to think about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why are you coming at it like so angrily? Like you act like them niggas don't have no right to complain, and that's so, cause that's so weird for another human, especially a black human, to be like, well, I'm black and I ain't never dealt with that, so I don't know why they complaining. You don't think as a human that's weird to say? As a human, that ain't weird for a human to say to another group of humans that I don't know why y'all complaining, even though I know history. Or do you not know history? It's like, yeah, I know history, but it's far removed, so we should remember. That's not how psychology works, though. You can't tell somebody just because they were in war 20 years ago that they should have just forgot about it. Hold on, I think I need to light the blunt on that one. Hold on. I'm just saying. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to do better as people. We got to do better as people. We got to do better as a human race, man. Just as humans. There's a lot of shit that y'all do that's just stupid as humans. And y'all be wanting to have dumbass conversation amongst each other with humans and shit like that. Like, it be certain shit, bro. Like, we shouldn't be letting slide, bro. I'm not going to no other ethnicity group and calling them whatever their derogatory terms are, so I'm not accepting it, period. Point blank, period. Respect thing. Why is that complicated? And you know what's up? You know what's fucked up? You know what I'm saying? Just to get some more into the rapper shit, there's been a lot of times where I've had to cut people off working with people, really talented people, because they act like they don't understand that. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Don't bring that shit over here. Don't bring that bullshit over here. I'm not with that. Like, it's just, this is stupid. Like, I'm not allowed to call your mama a bitch, so why is you coming over here saying, like, I'm just, it's not. If a group of people have told you that this shit is offensive, don't do it. Don't do it. It's very simple. It's very simple. It shouldn't be a back and forth. Well, these black people over here said it was okay, so it was like, well, the whole diaspora told you not to, so, you know what I'm saying? No respect, none. Okay, all right, you got it. See what side of the fence you lean on. Yeah. Because you got to be careful out here, man. There's a group of people out here that the reason why they want everything to, like, be like let me see. Hold on. How can I word this? There's a group of people out here. You gotta be careful. Y'all gotta watch them. There's a group of people out here that you can see them in the comments. They're in the comments. They're all over the place. They're all over the place. People who always want things to slide. Think of just go next time you get a chance. Just go check some comments. You know what I'm saying? Just you'll see what I mean. The people who, when somebody has an issue with something, they be like, I don't understand why y'all always got a problem. Them niggas. Them niggas is CIA agents. I'm trying to tell y'all. They CIA operatives. They CIA operatives. I'm trying to tell you. They is not for the people. My bad. There's a lot going on. Ha! Alright, gang. Yeah, them niggas is CIA operatives. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, so let me see how long I've been on. Let me see how long I've been on here, y'all. Okay, we've been on here for about an hour. We been on here for about an hour. Okay. I got one viewer. Oh, it's me. Ha! Yeah, hell yeah. So I think we go ahead and end it right there. Yeah, I think we gonna go ahead and end it right there. Yeah. Ooh, I like that wallpaper. That was hard. Yeah, I think we gonna go ahead and end it right there. But before we do, I want to do something real quick. I'm gonna save that video because I want to look at it. Yeah, I want to do this real quick, y'all. Hold on. So watch this. A spur of the moment, so it might be a bad take. Hold on. Yeah, I do know that I do gaming content, and you can just follow me on YouTube for more stuff. Yeah. Okay, so y'all just sat here and witnessed me do a TikTok promo for my for this. Yeah, I did it in real time. Y'all saw me do it in real time. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, so yeah, that's how I do my TikToks. I ain't gonna lie. I try to do my TikTok spur of the moment because I try not to think. I don't like thinking about it. I really don't. Like, that's why I'm not good at skits. I could probably do skits with somebody, but the whole process of putting it together after I've come up with the idea, oh my god, it's hard for me to keep the momentum when I come up with a good idea. Because sometimes I do be having little funny little ideas, but I can't put it together the way I want to. But I be having to do it like quick on the fly because I'll lose my momentum to want to do it. And then sometimes I have so much momentum that I have to keep doing stuff over and over and over again so that I can have like stuff stored away for when I be feeling bad. Because sometimes I be having bad days and I don't be wanting to talk to y'all. Because I don't like spewing my negativity on other people. I don't. So I just not do nothing. That's why I ain't made no. That's why I hadn't made no content in a while. Cause I be going through shit. I be like, man, that ain't. It's enough going on in the world. Y'all don't hear my bullshit. That's because I don't like that. That's just gossip. It's just gossip. Like, I don't think we here for gossip. I'm not here for gossip. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to put out great music, give y'all awesome advice, be the person that I needed when I was a kid, and that's pretty much it. Great advice, great music, and be the person that I needed when I was a kid. That's it. That's all I got for you right now. I'm not trying to save the world and do none of that extra shit. I would love to. I used to want to when I was a kid. That's all. That was like one of them when they asked all of the kids what they wanted to be. Yeah, when they grew up, my stupid ass. That's what I said. I was like, I want to be save the world. They was like, oh, so you want to be a superhero? I was like, that's not what I said. I was such a fucking ignorant ass kid. I was so fucking ignorant because I really was like that though. I just remember thinking like that. Like, yeah, I was like, I want to save the world. He's like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I'm like, I want to save the world. I'm like, so you want to be a superhero? I'm like, that's not what the fuck I said. I'm like, so you want to be the president? That's not what the fuck I said. You know what I'm saying? So, and then that's kind of what led me into like music and rap, because I was like, I want to do something that's unique to me, but it's like, but it has to be unique to me. Like I want something that I like. And then because I was raised in the church, you know, everybody used to always, oh, you gonna be a preacher, you gonna be a preacher, you gonna be a preacher, because you know I used to talk a lot. And my mama's friend used to call me Bojangles. It's funny because I used to dance all the time. So but the same time that people used to tell me all the time I wanted to be a preacher. Hold on, let's get into another gameplay. All the time people used to tell me that I wanted to be a preacher, that I was going to be a preacher, because I don't like being told what to do. I was just like, well, what's the opposite of that? Because from my perspective, and I was a kid at the time, I was like, from my perspective, those don't look like very good people either. So I'm cool. Not for real, not to me. I mean, everything that was coming out on the media as far as how people really were, that affected me as well. And not even just American media. Well, the overconsumption of it, yes, because Tyler Perry movies and plays did play a factor in it, but I don't think it got to the point where it is today, where it's just like over and over and over again, all of that. I think it was more so the relatability of him telling the stories that it felt like didn't get properly told on TV enough and in movies enough. That's how it felt. So I get why people gravitated towards them the way they did, but to me as a kid looking at that shit, that I didn't like it. I didn't like it because because I didn't like a lot of Black American media in my teens, because most of it was just shitting on me being a kid. To me, as a kid, it was just like, that's all y'all do is just shit. And I swear to God, I feel like that's why, that's where the disconnect happened, because then when you left the kids by themselves with a bunch of white folks, that's what it looked like to me. Yeah, because for me, when you isolated me as a kid through the media and was like, well, if I'm not black enough, if I don't do this and do that and blah, 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 it forced me to go find other mediums that I identified with, and those other mediums didn't have the same protection of, it didn't have the same protection that our stuff did. So the thing about it is, when you're complaining about the difference between, you know what I'm saying, Patti LaBelle and Stevie Wonder and Aretha Franklin and all these other people compared to my artists, there's context that can be added if so choose to be. And the problem was a lot of them weren't really adding context at all. So now you got a bunch of people that's old with music with old souls and shit like that, and it's just a giant gap and disconnect of music between black people, old black people and younger black people. And like I said, to me, it's because they kind of abandoned us when it came to our music. When it came to 90s R&B music, they really kind of abandoned us. Like it wasn't. They didn't. I don't know. I didn't see a lot of love. I just didn't see a lot of love. I didn't. I just, as a kid, I didn't see them paying. It was like our shit didn't matter. It was, if it wasn't old school, it didn't matter. If it wasn't old school jokes, it didn't matter. If it wasn't old school, it didn't matter. Like, it was just almost like we couldn't come up with our own identities. So for me, now when I look at when I look at what hip hop turned into, media, all this, that, and the other, and it's in such a like very sloppily looking space, I'm not mad at it because, well, you left it there like that. All of the old people, that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? Because even now, when you look at people, millennials now, they're doing, because to me, a lot of my friends, like, that's why I stopped fucking with them, because all they did was turn into the same old people that we didn't like. You're doing the same shit. Like, I remember I think it was last year, because I don't really fuck with that nigga no more. But it was a dude that I used to jam with. Been knowing him since we was kids. And I remember one day we was when Sexy Red like first blew up, he was arguing about Sexy Red, and I get it, I understand, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's bad for the kids, blah 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 blah. But I'm like, bro, you going a little hard like you kind of going hard like a hypocrite, bro. Like I remember talking to him about the conversation, and I'm like, I get what you saying, but bro, you approaching it like these people aren't people. Like, why are you talking about them like they're not humans? Like, I get what I'm trying to understand what you're saying, but you starting to sound like the adults that I remember growing up with, because you talking to me so rough that even if you do have a point, it's fuck your point, because the way you talking to me. And I thought it was supposed to be about respect. The reason why when I was younger, now that I'm a little bit older, the reason why people respected Big Mama more than the grandpas of the world, because it weren't a lot of grandpas around, but the grandpas that were around, he was kind of just the dude you just didn't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was tough. You ain't fuck with that nigga. He did. You know what I'm saying? He fuck you up. So, but the reason for that to me is because Big Mama, the grandmothers, a black woman, understands emotions, and is almost forced to, because of their lifestyle, way better than a man does. So when you come to them with issues and problems, they're almost built for it. You know what I'm saying? They're built to kind of hear you. So that's why even when you saying some bullshit and talking to them, they gonna kind of get you back in line. I feel like America has attempted to adopt that energy, which is to me why a lot of gay people cosplay black women, but that's a whole nother PSA. But I think that's what that is. I think that's what it is. It's you trying to steal that energy. The energy of the center of how it all can be fixed. Because the problem with that is we got so infatuated with Big Mama, we forgot that Big Mama needed to be protected. So we started not giving a fuck about Grandpa. You know what I'm saying? Because of history and all that and the other, men left the house, the Ronald Reagan era, crack, blah, 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 blah. It's a whole bunch of stuff. But it still didn't change the fact of what the hierarchy needed to be. Because that's what it was. And that was, because imagine if we could have kept the hierarchy and still improved and moved forward the way we did. Do you know how much more powerful we would be? I think we're doing a damn good job, more than we were before, by far. But I'm just like, man, can you imagine what we would do if we were allowing people to really, like, since y'all gonna steal our value and our culture anyway, what if they just stole it the right way? Because again, as far as Black American culture is concerned, we ain't never told y'all it was okay to say nigga. Who told you that? None of the grandmas from the 90s would have told you that. Who said that was cute? Who told you that was okay? Big Mama would have never told you that was cute. Cause guess what? The reason y'all forgot. And I get it, cause y'all weren't there. That's why you need Black Americans to explain it to you. I got you. See, y'all forgot that Big Mama was the reason why we put up with the white boy. Cause we ain't like him at first. We ain't fuck with him at first. If it wasn't for black women, the cool white boy would have never been a thing. She made us understand that it ain't about him being white. It's about him being broke. He ain't no different than us. She said that before anybody else said that. She said that before anybody else said that. She made us understand that before anybody else made us understand that. That's power. That's why everybody wants to cosplay a black woman. Because if I can catch that early, then I can be Big Mama before she even turned into Big Mama, which is why everybody cosplay black women. We showed them that in the late 90s and the early 2000s. It was always there, but we showed it to them. We showed it to the world on a very large scale through all of the media platforms, movies, and demanding representation in these spaces. Because we demanded representation in these spaces, it made us, it exposed our power. I don't think it's a bad thing, but it's just something to pay attention to. So because our power was exposed, that's why you got motherfuckers running around wanting to be, you know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be a black woman now. That's why things get feminine. That's why things are allowed to be feminine. If this was a man's world, the way they really wanted it to be, because if it's a man's world and somebody is, and there's a quote unquote man running the machine, well, who is it? We should all know the answer to this, kids. Come on now. Who's the man? If it's a man's world, who's the man? Because the nigga don't look like me. So for me, if it's a man's world and I understand who run this shit, I, as a black American, can make more sense of certain things through discernment without necessarily being a Harvard grad, to me. More than the average person can that might need that Harvard degree to understand the psychology of humans and the things that I'm saying. For me, I don't need all that. Make perfect sense to me. I don't need none of that. Like I said, I seen it. I saw it. You know what I'm saying? Like, now granted, I'm not that data oriented to be able to specifically pinpoint certain things, but I wonder if the shift had anything to do with soul food. I'm curious. Just curious. And I'm saying it in a very sarcastic manner. I know it's my Capricorn nature, but I really mean that. Like, I really want people to think about that. Like, seriously, black people, maybe y'all know more than I do. Maybe if you're a little older or was paying more attention to black culture around that time, because Soul Food wasn't my favorite movie, but I understand. Like, I'm able to use that reference for a reason. Because black, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because black. But and I think that's the difference between certain people in our races. It's like, I'm black, but me being black never allowed me to experience no other type of lifestyle. So that's why I don't get why people be like, I don't get why black people do such. What do you mean you don't get it? I do. Like, how can you not? Fuck is wrong with you? It's obvious as fuck. You know what I'm saying? There's certain shit. It's, you know what I'm saying? Because it's certain stuff. It's like, I just don't get why we act like we don't get it. We can have an opinion and have a issue with the way things are done and have a proper conversation. For example, I don't always like the way women talk about men online. Doesn't mean I don't understand what they're saying. It bothers me as a man. It bothers me because I have a sister. It bothers me because I have a mother. It bothers me because I have a wife. It bothers me because I want to have kids. It bothers me for a lot of things. And because all of those things are true, I don't want y'all to do the same thing that y'all did to me and other younger men that fueled our frustration into doing the same things that are making you feel that way. I want you to not be the statistic. Like, you. If you can work on it, then we can work on it across the board, because that's kind of what I wanted to. I was that same kid. Like, I wanted to make sure at least I wasn't doing the weirdo stuff. Like, let me make sure that I'm not the weirdo. So that way, when they do say things and I do get mad about them, I have at least the right to be upset, because I'm not a part of the discord of whatever they're talking about. I didn't do that. So, yeah. Anywho. Alright, we're gonna end it right here, y'all. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Who is messaging me? Who is this? Oh yeah, people message me. It sounds like I gotta get to work. Alright, so I will holler at y'all on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Oh, wrong button.